Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me today is Dr. Jeffrey Alban. He is the director of the Blue Ridge Singers, among other things that you do in our community. But
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. This is the 15th year for the Blue Ridge Singers, and it's just hard to believe it's been that long. I remember the first one.
Me too, and what a struggle it was. And as I sit back this entire season and look at what is before me every Tuesday, I'm just incredibly grateful, but at the same time in awe.
Yeah. You've really brought together a group of people that you didn't know existed in our community. I mean, you got some really good singers.
For sure, this year especially. But we continue to draw from outside the very, very, very local area.
Right.
We do have people that come from Warrenton, and we even got a guy who comes all the way from Fairfax.
You know, that shows the caliber of your group, I think.
Yeah,
people want to be part of it.
They do want to be a part of it. They want to learn and just have a good time singing together.
Well, when's the next good time coming?
It's right around the corner, everyone. And we will start the proceedings on Friday, April 19th. It'll be here in Front Royal at the Front Royal Presbyterian Church at 7:30. We'll take the show to Winchester that Sunday on April 21st at 3 o'clock. Again, remember, everyone, all the Sunday concerts are now at 3. Again, First Baptist Church in Winchester. Then we'll take the show to Manassas, which is our spring tradition where we perform on the music series at All Saints Catholic Church in Manassas. And that concert will be Tuesday the 23rd at 7:30. And then we will finish things off on Sunday, April 28th at Trinity Episcopal Church in Upperville, again at 3 o'clock.
That's quite a group of activities there for...
In a short amount of time.
Yes.
But it's always on an upward trajectory every time. And if the first concert is great, the next three are just even better and better and better.
Yeah. Well, they're in some really good facilities. I mean, they sound good there, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
And what's going to make this concert extra special is that we will have orchestra this go around.
Oh, that's different.
As part of the whole 15th anniversary season, I figured we better do something dramatic. So we will have orchestra this go around, but it's not your normal orchestra. We will have strings and piano, of course, but the piece that is the showcase for the concert is called the Misa a Buenos Aires, but it's also subtitled the Misa Tango by contemporary composer Martín Palmieri, who's from Argentina. And I heard this piece. I was driving home from visiting my parents, long drive home from North Carolina, and I was listening to the choral stream on Minnesota Public Radio, and they play choral music 24/7, and I like the accordion, and I was half asleep driving up 95 with everyone else in Northern Virginia, and I thought, that's an accordion, and luckily the choral stream goes back and they list all of the repertoire that they play by the hour for the previous 7 days. You can go back and look at what they played, and it was this Misa Tango, and I said, I gotta go get this score.
Right.
And I listened to it a couple more times, like, this piece is awesome. So it sets the text of all the mass parts, but it has this bandoneon.
Well, you mentioned this the last time we were together, that this was going to be some sort of
correct
out-of-park instrument.
And I initially thought that it was an accordion and that the two things were basically synonymous, but they are not. The accordion is the Italian instrument we all know that's got the keyboard and the buttons on it. Well, the bandoneon is a similar arrangement in that, the reeds expand and contract, but it only has buttons. And I'm looking forward to seeing this with my own eyes, because I think as an organist we have to be insanely coordinated. With the bandoneon, it will only play certain chords and notes going one way and other chords and notes going the other, as you're making the device work. And there's no keys on it. It's only buttons. But when I look at the part, it's extremely involved. I mean, it looks like a regular piano part with many, many voices going at the...
all of a sudden I'm thinking a trombone, kind of the same way, depending on where you move it, depending on the notes you get.
Well, the trombone, the slide just shortens and lengthens the cylinder inside the instrument, but this is actually creating the air and the vibration to make these different chords.
It takes talent, is what you're saying, right?
So it can play chords and it can play notes via button. Where did you
find this instrument at?
I didn't find it.
Well, I mean,
I just, of course, it was part of the piece, and when I first thought it was just an accordion, I went and sought out an accordion player who said, this is not going to work. And he actually referred me to one of my alma maters, which was the Peabody Conservatory in Baltimore. And the chair of the piano department there put me in contact with this guy, Emmanuel Trefilio, who happens to live in Washington, D.C., who is a world-class bandoneonist.
Who would have thought that?
So he's coming out here to make all of this possible.
Well, those are the kind of things that make Blue Ridge Singers special, I think.
Absolutely.
That's right.
We want you to go home remembering something very unique.
Well, the title of this series is a little different, too.
Well, it stems from this whole tango concept, and I titled the concert, Let's Dance. The Misa Tango will be the whole second half. We will have an intermission at the concert this time, which is a little bit unusual, but we're going to need the time just to reset the stage. But the first half will feature our usual smattering of repertoire. In what I described as a choral dance by Mark Hayes, who's a composer that we've explored before. We'll have another tango for choir that's very different from the Misa Tango by Sid Rabinovich called Noche de Lluvia, which talks about a rainy night, but it's just for choir and piano. Then we're going to sing a Strauss polka, just like they do for the New Year celebration in Vienna each year. And then we're going to have an African dance called Panlongo, where the choir does all sorts of vocal percussion. And then we're going to have a wild setting of It Don't Mean a Thing If You Ain't Got That Swing.
Well, that's completely from one end to the other.
Sure. We try to cover it all.
So you will go away entertained. Let's put it that way. I mean, it's something for everybody always at your concerts.
Of course.
I think it's great. And you bring a little bit of culture to people that, as well.
Sure.
Yeah, it's great. So this is all happening. April 19th is the first one at 7:30 here in Front Royal.
Right, at the Presbyterian Church.
That's on a Friday.
Correct.
And then it goes to your Sunday, and that's at the Winchester First Baptist Church. That's on the 21st.
At 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, because the times have moved around a little bit, I believe, over the years. Tuesday, April 23rd at All Saints in Manassas, and then again Sunday the 28th in Upperville.
Yep.
Now, Upperville has just been added the last couple of years, hasn't it?
It's a relatively new venue for us, but it's also our home rehearsal church.
Yeah.
Our accompanist, Dan Miller, he's a great guy. He is the director of music there, and he's offered the facilities to us. We've got a great rehearsal hall, and of course the church is just excellent to sing in.
Sure. Yeah, something that's kind of missing nowadays in a lot of churches is that ambiance and the reverberation
and the
acoustics of the, when the churches were built a long time ago, that was part of the thing that they built. I think it's
stone is the best carrier for sound.
I can remember going down. I think I mentioned to you when I worked with the singing sergeants, we'd go down to the Presbyterian downtown. What's the big dome? I can't think what it's called. National Cathedral, and they'd love to go stand under the dome and sing, and it just had a completely different sound.
You actually get to hear yourself.
Yes, it was really interesting. So it was great. Well, we appreciate you coming in, letting us know, and we want everyone inviting. And there's no cost to this, right?
It's a free concert. We will take up a free will offering, though. We just want everybody to have access to all this music, and there'll be a reception after the concert, so we can get to talk to you afterward.
Yeah, I've been to those. When we come to, I'm surprised you all go there and you can hobnob with the singers. And
sure, we want to be there so we can thank you for coming. And if you got any questions,
it's great. It's a great concert, and it's very entertaining, and it goes by quick.
Unfortunately, yes, it does go by quick.
Except if you're on the stage,
that's right.
Seems like it goes on forever. So, anything else you want to add?
Just again, it's our 15th season, and we're looking forward to an excellent concert here with an interesting instrument and some interesting music that you're sure to be tapping your foot when you leave the venue.
All right, we appreciate it, Jeff. Now, remember, here in Front Royal, it'll be on the 19th, Friday the 19th at 7:30 at the Presbyterian Church. I'll put all the schedule below in the video, in the story as well, so you can check that out and be there. You can't say anything more. Just be there. It's great.
One last thing to add. We're always looking for new singers.
Oh, that's right.
And I'll hold auditions through the end of June by appointment. We'll probably have another day in there. It hasn't been determined yet, where we'll just have open auditions where you can just come and sing. I am looking for altos. Altos.
Well, because you mentioned that sometimes you don't have to be a professional singer to participate in this.
Correct. I always bill the choir as semi-professional because we do have people who have sung professionally in choirs before and as soloists. But
it surprises you, though, who shows up sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think the people surprise themselves, and that's the greatest joy for me as the artistic director, is to help these people realize their potential as singers and to what they can do. Yeah. Some of our music is easy, and some of it is far, far, far down the line in terms of advanced harmony, melody, vocal technique, things you need to do. But the people work through it, and it's the most rewarding thing for me is to watch people realize their potential as a singer. Yeah. And we have done it this go-around. Yeah.
We appreciate all the great things that you do at the Blue Ridge Singers, and we'll see you on the 19th.
Sounds good. Right? I appreciate you having me here.
Sure, anytime, Jeff.